The night my boyfriend proposed to me, I overheard a conversation between him and my best friend. I'm getting married. Do you regret it? My best friend's eyes reddened. And then she kissed him on the lips. I regret it. I saw shock, bemusement, and finally surprise in my boyfriend's eyes. It was as if revenge had been avenged, as if a wish had been granted. He was about to reach out and put his arms around her when he met my eyes in the corner. Instead of turning away, I stepped forward and slapped him. My best friend subconsciously tried to stop, and when I raised my hand and was about to hit her, my boyfriend stepped in the way, pleading with me with red eyes. If you want to hit me, hit me. Don't hit her. In my 5th year with CJ Chung, he prepared a grand proposal for me. When he put the ring on my hand, I smiled and said yes. But my best BFF Sophia was red-eyed and in tears. Her eyes went from mine to CJ Chung next to her, pulling a smile that was worse than tears. Emily, I really envy you. So envious. I patted her back and joked. I also envy you all. Boyfriends change every day. I can really pity. Only talked about such a one to be married. Ching CJ, however, unexpectedly did not say anything. Her eyes gazed straight at Sophia. She continued. Chung CJ has actually been with you for 5 years. If only. Before she could finish her sentence, Chung CJ fished 2 bottles of wine from the table and interrupted her. Bless us. Sophia reached out and took the wine he handed her, smiling and bursting into tears. Emily, why do you think some people forget someone so easily? I thought she was talking about all the boyfriends she had changed over the years. So I smiled and comforted. That's because you haven't met the right person. She shook her head in a sad tone with one glass of wine after another. I met the right person, but I missed him. Then she got up and staggered to the bathroom. I was about to accompany her. Ching CJ, who hadn't said anything, took the lead and said, She seems to have had too much to drink. I'll go and have a look. I froze, then nodded. They didn't come back for a long time, so I was a bit uneasy and still followed. There was no one in the restroom, but the stairs next to it led up to a small terrace. As I was about to turn to leave, I heard Sophia's low cry, subconsciously turning back. I raised my foot and walked up. At a glance, I saw CJ Chung and Sophia standing together. CJ's hand was currently on her hair, as if stroking and comforting. Isn't this what you wanted to see? You're the one who rejected me in the first place. You're the one who told me Emily liked me. He said this without any emotion in his eyes, but I could clearly see a different hint of intimacy in his movements. As you wish. I'm with her and I'm getting married soon. Do you regret it? Buzz. My mind went blank. It only felt as if my feet were as heavy as lead. But the next second, I saw Sophia's eyes slowly turning red. She raised her head and looked at him. CJ Chung, you asshole. You proposed today just to deliberately piss me off. Didn't you? You know very well that this day is the day I rejected you back then. CJ Chung didn't say anything, and Sophia, as if she had made a great determination, stood on her tiptoes and kissed his lips. But I regret it. Her tears fell, and she reached up to pat on Ching CJ's chest. I saw shock, bemusement, and finally surprise in Ching CJ's eyes, as if a great revenge had been avenged, as if getting what he wanted. It was like something was pounding heavily in my heart. Pang after pang. gripping pain. Sourness rose to the tip of my nose, and in my eyes was uncontrollable pain. Then tears flowed down in large sections. This was also the day that CJ Chung said he was with me. I thought it was romantic. From the beginning to the proposal. Exactly 5 years. I didn't realize that it was the day that he had specially and carefully chosen to get back at her. How could he justify stabbing me on my happiest day? Right now, my boyfriend of 5 years and my best friend of 8 years have both betrayed me. Both betrayed me. When CJ Chung was about to reach out to her, he met my eyes in the corner. At this time, Sophia also turned her head and saw me. Her face was tear-stained. And CJ Chung actually panicked a bit. What was he panicking about? The person he likes, at this moment, responded to his liking. He should be happy. But what am I then? During these 5 years, am I just a witness to their relationship experience? If they hadn't forgotten each other, why did they have to drag me into their emotional entanglements? The heartache was followed by boundless anger. I didn't turn away, didn't act as if nothing had happened, didn't raise my voice in question. Instead, I stepped forward and heavily slapped CJ Chung. His face was knocked to the side. When I was about to raise my hand again, Sophia subconsciously tried to stop. I didn't say anything and raised my hand to aim at her. But the next second, the slap didn't land on her face. Because my wrist was grabbed by CJ Chung, he blocked in front of her, lowered his eyes and said to me, "If you want to hit me. Don't hit her." In a trance, I remembered something from the past. At the high school graduation farewell dinner, I got up the courage to go to Chung CJ to confess. He drank some wine at that time. And when he saw me approaching, he lightly swept me a glance. "You and Sophia are good friends?" "Yes." Then he said, "Emily, do you like me?" The little heart of a teenage girl's crush was pierced. I blushed, wringing my hands when I was planning to say something. CJ Chung said, "Then let's be together." Huh? Ignoring my shock, he stood up and approached me. "So, want to take me home?" Turns out, it was just because she was rejected by Sophia that day. Then because Sophia and I were good friends, he chose me. Later, CJ Chung and I went to the same university, and Sophia was at State University, which was a block away from us. When we first started dating, CJ seemed to subconsciously ask if he had any good friends to call out with. So I called Sophia along. So he just used the fact that he was with me as a logical reason to see her. Over the years of college, it seemed like the three of us were together at a lot of major points. Watching movies together, going to concerts together, spending birthdays together, walking through our youth together. Even other friends were saying how great we were bonding. I just laughed and wrapped my arms around Sophia's neck and said to them, "She's my wife. Chung CJ has to step aside." In my heart, she has always been in first place. And it was this first best friend who coveted my boyfriend when I was about to get married. What's even sadder is that my boyfriend likes her too. How ironic is that? I fought to throw the ring in my hand at CJ Chung, grabbing his collar and pounding on it. "Why are you doing this to me? What do you take me for?" My voice was hoarse as I couldn't control my tears. How did they manage to keep me, who was completely unaware of the inside story, in the dark? How did they manage to keep me in the dark, not knowing what was going on? And how did they manage to pretend to be good to me while thinking about each other? In these 5 years, what exactly am I in Chung CJ's eyes? One is my boyfriend. One is my boyfriend and the other is my best friend. How dare they? Sophia cried and came to pull me. I'm sorry, Emily. I was the one who rejected CJ Chung back then. You guys aren't married yet. I don't want to miss it. Can you let me have him? I looked at her and slapped Ching CJ when he wasn't looking. You guys are disgusting. I didn't think I would hit her. Sophia covered her face and cried with tears. I love him too. Can I? Is it against the law to love someone? I was so angry that I almost shouted hysterically. It's not against the law, but you two are cheap. CJ Chung bent down and picked up the ring on the floor, taking a step forward to pull me. Emily, calm down. I dodged his hand and looked at him with a single word. Ching CJ. We are over. Turning around to leave. My feet were empty. I was stopped and picked up by CJ Chung. He was a bit panicked. It's not over. Let me explain. I slapped hard on him, my legs wobbling and screaming. You put me down. Ching CJ, you jerk. But he still held my legs firmly, making me unable to move. Sophia stood in place, tears streaming down her face, and shouted at him, Ching CJ. As if he didn't hear me, he carried me all the way and finally pressed me into the car. Ching CJ. You get out. You get out. I want to get out of the car. Put me down. He locked the car door and drove off without waiting for me to speak. When I got home, my whole body was like falling apart. As soon as I entered, I went straight to the bedroom and started packing. I opened the suitcase and threw clothes into it one by one. CJ Chung stopped me. I can explain. I shook off his hand and looked at him coldly. Don't touch me. I feel dirty. But he started talking to himself. I admit that the reason for being with you is not pure. I did like Sophia in high school. And I did choose you because I wanted to get back at her. But then I fell in love with you, Emily. And now I love you. So what? I have to be grateful to you because you love me? He licked his lips and scrambled to explain. That's not what I meant. Just now, I just had a momentary lapse in my mind, and seeing her crying was a bit pathetic. So I suddenly felt a bit relieved before I said those words. I pinched my thigh hard with my fingertips, forcing myself to calm down. So the next time something happens to her, are you just going to comfort her in bed? He frowned. You don't have to put words in my mouth. Seeing that I was ignoring him, he added, I won't have any contact with her anymore. Oh yeah, so you have a split personality. 1 second you're affectionate, the next you're desperate. There was a sudden clap of thunder outside the window. Look, even the old man doesn't believe the words of the scum. I continued to pack my clothes. He wanted to come to stop, but did not dare. He just stood there and said in a low voice, Yeah, I love you. I have nothing with her. Can you give me another chance? Give you one more chance. So that the next time you plant the green color directly on top of my head, don't do that. He was at a loss for words. His eyes reddened. Don't go. Okay. You've agreed to my proposal. We can get married right away. Just pretend that nothing has happened tonight. Okay. Can we? How can he say such a thing? What do you think I am? Am I someone who can just be with him and then just leave him? Am I some kind of whiny bastard who can forgive him for nothing even though I know he betrayed me with my best friend? There was a sudden flash of lightning outside. Then a rainstorm fell. I looked out the window and calmly said, Ching CJ, you hurt me. I was wrong. I was wrong. He repeated this sentence over and over again. I looked at the photo of me and him still hanging in the middle of the bedroom. My heart was clogged. That throbbing place was throbbing with pain. The breath that I couldn't breathe out and swallow was unbearable. It was really too hard. I looked at him, then grabbed the remote control on the nightstand and fought to slam it into the picture frame. There was a pop and the glass shattered, dropping with the picture inside. I grabbed the scissors next to me and went up to cut the photo to pieces. And then to pieces. CJ Chung suddenly rushed over and hugged me, pressing me tightly into his arms, as if he was comforting, but also as if he was making a promise. His voice was low and hoarse. "Emily, I love you. I only love you." I pushed him away and pinched his neck so hard I wanted to just strangle him to death, crying up and down, as if to drain all the energy out of me. Tears smashed onto his face drop by drop. He didn't resist, just looked at me in silence. His face slowly turned red and purple. He still didn't say a word. Then I let go of him. I reached up and wiped the tears from my face, took a deep breath, and kept my face expressionless. "You hurt me. So I hurt you just now. CJ Chung. We're even." But he suddenly panicked. "Don't." Then he pulled my hand and desperately tried to put the ring back on my hand. I clearly wanted to cry, but I couldn't. I obviously wanted to push him away, but it was as if I had used up all my strength just now. I just quietly watched as he put the ring on my hand with a trembling hand, his voice low and inaudible. "CJ Chung, I don't want to see you. You make me feel sick." And that's when Sophia came in. I forgot. She had the fingerprints from the combination lock of our house. It's ridiculous. When I pressed her for fingerprints, how could I have never imagined that one day this person would steal my boyfriend from me? She was still wearing the thin halter dress she had just worn. At the moment, her whole body was drenched, and the curves of her body were hidden. Her hair was plastered to her face, and her lips were white. She stood in the doorway, looking at CJ Chung and I, her voice trembling. "Emily, don't blame him. It's me who made it. It's me who is cheap." I looked over and said calmly, "Sophia, for a man, do you really want to be like this?" Her eyes flickered, and she hesitated for a moment before speaking. "I don't want to miss out. I've been with him for 5 years, too." "Good. Very good." I sneered. It turns out that friendship is indeed no match for love. For so many years, I watched her change boyfriends one by one. I thought she just hadn't met the right one, but I didn't realize that in the 5 years we've been together, she's regretted every moment of it. She is always regretting that she rejected CJ Chung and let Chung CJ go with me. But without the two of them, I would have only been sad for a while because of my failed confession. After going to college, I might have gotten over it and forgotten, and then find someone who genuinely likes me and have a clean relationship. No revenge, no coupling. Even if the two of them ended up together again, I wouldn't have felt a thing. It wouldn't be like today, being stabbed hard by the two most important people in my life. I clenched my fists and tried to control my voice. "Then I wish you guys a long life together, forever carrying the name of betrayer, living in the darkness and being scorned." CJ Chung didn't know when tears were flowing from the corners of his eyes. He reached out to pull me, and I swung up and slapped him again, the sharp corner of the ring cutting across the side of his face. A deep gash of blood ran from the corner of his eye to his jaw and was now bubbling. Sophia lunged over with a scream, looking for a tissue to go wipe him up. I took the opportunity to pull my suitcase out, but then I heard CJ Chung suddenly speak. "Emily, do you have a home to go back to besides mine?" There was a lurch in my footsteps. He really knows how to stab at me is the most painful. I never thought that one day I would speak to him in such a vicious manner. Nor did I think that CJ Chung would rub salt into the most painful wound in my heart. I used to go to Sophia's house to complain to her when I had a fight with CJ. Then we would lie under the covers and reminisce about our high school years and youthful memories. It was a good time. I had a lover and a friend. And the two people I loved the most were now the ones who hurt me the most. I didn't linger. Viciously throwing the ring down, pulling my suitcase and leaving. Neither of them came after me as the door closed. I heard Sophia's sobs. CJ Chung, you're bleeding. Let me stop the bleeding. Okay. And I didn't turn around. Not once. At 12 a.m. I stood in front of my house, wondering if I should open the door and go in. My mom got sick and died in junior high school, and my dad carefully asked me after I went to college if I could find a partner. I just overlooked that it hadn't been easy for him to raise me on his own. I understood his emotional needs and realized that he couldn't be single for my mom for the rest of his life. In the summer of my freshman year, he brought an aunt to meet me. She was quite kind and loved to smile. My dad took advantage of her bathroom break to secretly ask me if I was okay with it. And if not, he would stop looking. I looked at the wrinkles at the corners of his eyes, and instead of saying the cruel words out loud, I smiled and nodded. Later, Auntie Lee moved into our house. The house was well taken care of, with flowers and hot meals. My dad was happier every day. And I started to feel as if I was redundant from that point on. I knew I couldn't be that selfish. But I still couldn't do what it took to graciously accept a stranger into my life. So, even if I went to school locally, I only went home during summer and winter breaks. After CJ Chung found out about my family, he rented a house in his junior year of college so that I could have a place to go when I didn't want to go home. It's the house we live in now. His family has money and later bought it outright. That day he put the property deed in front of me, embraced me, and said words of love. Emily, I'm here. I'll give you a home. And in the future, even if there's a fight, it'll be me going out. And you staying here. I felt touched at that time. Really touched. But when I dissected the protective film on my heart layer by layer to show him my most vulnerable side, but I didn't want to be handing him the knife for hurting me with his own hands later. Knife after knife. The heart inserted to the blood. I leaned against the front door of my house, wrapped my hands around my knees, and buried my head in them. Maybe it was telepathic. Not long after the door opened, my dad looked at me in his pajamas and pajama pants. Yeah. What's wrong? Auntie Lee also came out with her clothes on. The lights in the living room were on. Looking at the suitcase next to me, my dad asked, "Had a fight?" I shook my head and nodded again. Broke up. Completely. My dad didn't ask why, but spoke. "Are you hungry? Do you want to eat some rice?" Then handed Auntie Lee a look. She froze and spoke with a smile. "You're starving at night, right? Auntie will cook you a poached egg." I didn't say anything as she went into the kitchen. My dad sat next to me. This father, who I remembered as a man of few words, patted me on the shoulder. Yeah. You still have a father. You still have a family." The tears that had just stopped flowed down again. I broke down and choked as I told him what happened tonight. I thought he would be like other parents who would say that couples have a fight and just calm down for a few days. But my dad was red-eyed. It's Dad who didn't help you recognize people. Yeah. Dad has always been on your side. Come home. It so happened that Annie Lee came out with steaming poached egg and looked at me with a smile. Yeah. Eat something hot. We are not angry. Our Yaya is so good. She deserves to be loved by a better person. I took a spoon and drank the soup one bite at a time. My eyes hurt from the rising heat. So, my family still loves me. That's nice. But I didn't sleep well this night. In my dreams, I dreamt of CJ Chung. At that time, I was so happy. When I brought CJ Chung to meet my dad for the first time, he was so panicked that he didn't sleep a wink. In fact, I know that my dad also didn't sleep a wink. CJ went to buy a lot of gifts early the next morning. And when he arrived at my house, he ran to the kitchen to help my dad and Auntie Lee. In order to earn performance, cleaned my home. After accompanying my dad to drink a few glasses of wine, he patted his chest, had also made a solemn promise. Uncle, don't worry. I will be good to Emily for the rest of my life. In the past few years after I moved in with him, he did treat me very well. He did fulfill his vow to give me a home. He was a young master at home, but he was willing to wash his hands and make soup for me. Then we graduated and got a job. In the morning, he would make breakfast and wake me up, send me to work on the way. And in the evening, he came to pick me up from work. Sometimes we would go out for a nice meal. Sometimes we would stroll around the food market, supermarket, buy a bunch of dishes to do at home. I sometimes look at the back of his cooking and think if I can hold hands with this person and grow old together. It seems to be a good thing. I remember one night I had insomnia, and then was asleep. He pulled over and hugged tightly. Then he kissed my face in his sleep and mumbled something about a wife hug. At the time, he was treating me like a treasure, but then it was Sophia all over again. I had low self-esteem in high school, and when she found out about my family, she brought me hard-boiled eggs every day, took me to her house for dinner on weekends. Her mom would cook us lots of good food. We lay on the bed, listened to songs, and watched TV dramas together. Outside the window was the sound of cicadas. Inside is the sound of teenage girls laughing. We exchanged journals. We spend every weekend together. We hang friendship charms in our churches, wishing for friendship to last forever. At the end of the dream, it was the two of them hugging and saying to me coldly that I was the one who was superfluous. I woke up with a start, and my back was covered in sweat. It was close to noon when I left the room. My dad said that Chun CJ was sitting in front of the house early in the morning. The bottom of his eyes were green and black, and his face was haggard. I don't know if he came last night or this morning. Dad kicked him out. I know you don't want to see him, so let's not see him, my dad said. Auntie Lee had already prepared the meal. The pork chop soup was stewed to perfection. Yaya is up. Come and eat. After you've eaten your fill. Well, it's the weekend. Do you want to go fishing with Dad? Sure, but when I pushed open the door, I still saw CJ Chung. He was sitting disheveled in front of my house, and when he heard the door open, he hurriedly climbed up. There was still a band-aid on his forehead. That means he indulged her in helping him with the aftermath. I thought I told you to leave. What are you still doing here? My dad shielded me. Don't come and pester our family, yeah, Uncle. Chung CJ's gaze fell on my body, and I responded to him with nothing but a cold face. I came to apologize. His voice was somehow hoarse. We don't need your apology. If you still want our family yaya to be good, leave now. My dad was actually a man with a temper. Not telling him to get lost was already the greatest mercy to him. CJ Chung looked at me handily and carefully pulled out yesterday's blue velvet ring box. I turned my face away. I heard him say, "Uncle, I proposed to Yaya last night." She agreed. Many witnesses. I just made her angry. I came to apologize. I hope you can forgive me. As he said that, his eyes reddened again. This is a matter of principle. Although our family has a good temper, but there is also a bottom line. You have 2 feet in 2 boats. Such a man does not deserve to enter our family door. Hearing this sentence, Cheng CJ looked painful and took out his cell phone. He opened various chat records and spread them out in front of us to explain. "Uncle, I didn't. In the 5 years I've been with Yaya, I've been just friends with her. Not once have I crossed the line," he said. "But you lied to me, didn't you?" I looked him straight in the eyes. "CJ Chung, do you dare to swear that when you were with me, you really liked me? Or did you want to get back at another person?" He was silent for a moment before speaking. "But nothing happened with us." "Yeah, they obviously didn't happen. Why am I still holding on to it?" What he doesn't realize is this. In every one of those memories I have with him, Sophia was in it. I don't know if his heart has wandered in the past 5 years, but those fragments of memories that used to reflect light like the sun and warmed my years, now they have converged into a sharp knife, stuck hard in my heart. Those once let me proud of. 3 people together to the old vow. Now it seems to be more ridiculous and more ridiculous. Did not happen. Can be treated as this matter does not exist. It was the 2 of them who betrayed me. Why should I forgive? I pulled my dad's coat and shook my head. "Dad, let's go." Auntie Lee only told me when she accompanied me to help my dad to get a folding stool that in the morning. My dad couldn't wait to take the family broom to beat Cheng CJ. But then slowly reddened his eyes and told him to stop coming to you. She said, "Your dad was silent on the couch for a long time after he closed the door, feeling like he hadn't protected you." Then he said, "Yeah, is already sad. Can't make her sadder. Let me smile at you as much as he does so you don't think of unhappy things. I just feel sorry for your mom. I didn't take good care of you and let you suffer." I cried a little as I listened. My heart ached that my dad had always loved me so silently. Auntie Lee held me in her arms and patted my back one by one to comfort me. "Good boy. It's okay to cry it out." When we were fishing, my dad was deliberately looking for topics. I knew that he was afraid that I would think a lot when the atmosphere was quiet. I didn't want them to be sad, so I chatted with him for the whole day. On the way back, a friend sent me 2 screenshots of his circle of friends. One was sent by CJ Chung this morning. "Downstairs in my house." The caption, "Only you. Forever." The other one is Sophia's. "At CJ Cheng's house." A flash of a band-aid. But that side face. Even if it turns into ashes, I know. It was posted in the early hours of last night. "Can we not miss each other anymore?" My friend asked. "Is it really not my fault? Is there something wrong with you 3? I replied back. "Yes. Split up. Ex-boyfriend hooked up with ex-bestie." My friend sent me an emoticon and said, "Outrageous, isn't it? Didn't he just propose yesterday? How can he be so disgusting?" I tapped the word. "It's all in the past." She went on to send a couple of hug emojis. "Emily baby, you're in for a blessing." Yes. Wave away the wrong ones to meet the right ones. What doesn't kill me only makes me stronger. I posted a message in my circle of friends. Returning to singleness. Below my message were the marriage proposals that other good friends posted yesterday. 9 frames. Little videos. I haven't eaten as much dog food in my entire fucking life as I have today. Emily. Be happy. I'm so touched. Woohoo. After 5 years of love. Congratulations to Mr. Ching on his successful proposal. If anyone ever says he doesn't believe in love again, I'll throw this video in his face. Ironic as it may seem nowadays. I clicked on one randomly and saw CJ Ching in it. His eyes were not looking at me. Instead, they were looking deep into Sophia beside me, thinking about last night when he watched me chatting with Sophia without moving his eyes. With what kind of feelings was he maneuvering between our two women? That moment. Was he thinking about being with me for a long time to come? Or was he thinking that his revenge on her had finally succeeded? Now, it doesn't matter. Both of them. I don't want them anymore. Just sent out. Friends have sent messages. After all, last night, prepared such a grand proposal ceremony. So many people witnessed our love. They all thought I was joking. However, it was the truth. I replied one by one, without giving them the slightest bit of mercy. Why should I be generous? They're the ones who've wronged me. I'm not at fault. But Sophia still sent me a message at night. Yeah. Can you make us whole? I don't understand. She obviously has everything. Why did she still go for CJ Chung? Is it because she can't see me happy? But she is my best friend. In the end, I realized something I didn't want to admit. Maybe Sophia never really treated me as a friend. How else could she have done such a shameless and unashamed thing? I suppressed the urge to curse and replied to her. Ching Chung? Sophia, don't you two think you're nasty and disgusting? She quickly replied. But CJ Chung liked me first. He was the one who confessed his love to me. I didn't tell you that. And when you guys first got together, he even told me that he could be with me right away if I wanted to. I didn't tell you at the time. After all, you guys were already together, and I didn't want to upset you. Oh, I have to thank you, do I? Sophia continued. He's with you to get back at me. If he breaks up with you, he won't see me anymore. Disgusting. That's disgusting. They're not human beings. I do feel you if I saw you two for one more second. I won't let you go. I want you to carry my guilt and everyone's accusations with you and never see the light of day. And then I blackballed her. I didn't think anyone would abandon their friends for a man. Not even their conscience. I finally understood and came to my senses. In Sophia's eyes, I was probably never a friend. Rather, in the little follower who sets off her beauty and popularity. Rather, it was a garbage bin where she could throw anything she didn't want to me. All these years, when I shelled out a heart to both of them and treated them with all my heart, they just thought, I'm such a good liar. I can be so stupid. I didn't even notice the dark tide between the two of them. Since they want to be together, I'm not as good as they want me to be. This matter soon spread in the circle of friends. I was frank, because I was the victim. Mutual friends. In droves. Cut them off. A few friends just couldn't stand to watch. After all, it was the first time in their lives that they had seen something so ruinous. They sent this experience anonymously to a certain Who platform. In less than a day. Actually, 10,000 likes. Several thousand comments were all scolding them. I don't know how CJ Chung saw it. When I came home from work one day, he blocked me. His eyes were full of pain. Emily, do you hate me that much? Hate? You don't deserve it. He still had to explain. I really don't have anything with her. Why don't you want to believe it? His voice trembled a little. Have I treated you badly in the past 5 years? Don't you feel it? Yes. He did treat me very well in these 5 years. But feelings are not something that can be cancelled out by a single point of good treatment. The damage is done. It will scar. It will suddenly remind me one day how agonizing the experience was at that time. It will turn into a sharp sword that will be thrust at each other every time we argue in the future. CJ Ching. When you lied to me, you knew I would find out one day. Why didn't you think of the consequences? To tell one lie, it takes countless lies to round it up. He was silent. I answered for him. It's because you felt from the beginning that there could be no future for you and me. I tore apart the words he was unwilling to face or say and spread them out in front of him, word for word. You thought I was just a pawn that could be thrown away when you were done using it. And you didn't think at all that you'd fall in love with me in the course of getting along. I admit I was an asshole before. But Emily, I really didn't want to separate from you. I really wanted to marry you. I wanted to have a family with you. I interrupted him. You're an asshole and a scumbag and a piece of shit. Yes. 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 You can hit me or yell at me all you want. Don't leave me. Okay. In not a love brain. No one stays with trash. Save those words for Sophia. No, Sophia. He said he was going to come up and pull me out. My dad, who came back from grocery shopping, saw him and beat him away. Later on, CJ came to wait for me downstairs at my office every day. When I went home, he followed me. He knew I didn't want to talk to him and didn't come forward. Just keep a distance of not far, not close. It's really annoying. I told my dad. My dad was so angry that he called the police. After making a statement out, my father walked over and looked at the disheveled and lost Chung CJ and said, "You do not come to my daughter." Chung CJ slowly raised his head and looked at me across my father's line of sight. His eyes red and red. I didn't say a word to him and pulled my dad away. But that very night, Sophia changed her cell phone number and sent me a picture. Emily, call the police. Are you sick? The picture shows CJ Chung in a dimly lit KTV, and the two of them have their hands covered together. It's not funny. I just feel so sad. I can't believe Sophia has turned into such an annoying person. I didn't reply, and when I was about to blackmail her again, Sophia sent another message. Are you that desperate? You're not with us anymore. We're keeping ourselves warm. She's the one who's psychotic, isn't she? I backhanded and hacked again. My friend later told me that Sophia went into CJ Chang's house that night and came out the next day. Someone heard a heated argument break out between them. Don't know what it was about. It's just that Sophia posted a crying flower in her circle of friends with the caption, "Even if the road ahead is thorny, I still choose to embrace you again." Non-mainstream literature is kind of played out for her to understand. But I don't care at all anymore. My friend asked me if I wanted to give them some more color when it was so infuriating. I was silent for a long time and shook my head. If I dwell on it, I will only get deeper and deeper into this quagmire. There will be another connection and involvement with them again. I didn't want to become hysterical again. It wasn't worth it. Sometimes not responding is what hurts the most. Days after a period of calm, the family began to receive frequent deliveries. There was even baby stuff. I warily glanced at my dad. My dad hurriedly brushed it off. Why are you looking at me? How old is your aunt? I pulled out a bottle. Yesterday it was clothes. Today it's a bottle. What else have we received? My dad was organizing the delivery and took an inventory. There's also a rocking car, baby toys. I don't know what today's is. Where is it? It's old and high. Then Auntie Lee frowned and spoke. Isn't it that kid? The whole room was quiet at once. After that police report, CJ Chung didn't show up again to look for me. But every other week, he would mail flowers to my office. Some food. I gave the food to my coworkers. The flowers were thrown away. I don't want to have any contact with him. Hey! I just didn't expect that he wouldn't die and mailed so many strange things at my home. I took the scissors and opened the box. It was a whole Lego that had been put together. Inside was a handwritten letter from him. Emily, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been having a hard time. A very hard time. I can't close my eyes without seeing you. You hugged me and said, CJ, let's have 2 kids. Okay, I said. Whatever you want. But I don't want you to have 2 kids. I said let you. But I don't want you to bear the pain of pregnancy. You said that pain is also a kind of experience in life. And you want to experience different experiences at different stages of your life. To prove that you've been in this world. And to prove that you've left traces. You said that if we can grow old together, we'll have a lot of memories when we grow old. And that even if we don't have anything to talk about in the future, we can still remember the small things that happened in our younger days to awaken our feelings at that time. I'm sure we'll have many memories when we grow old together. How did I lose you? With you gone. I have no one to go through those things with me. What's the point of living then? Yeah. It's my fault that I lied to you. Please don't ignore me. Okay. We were so happy in those 5 years. Weren't you happy too? I said I would give you a home. And I will honor all of it. Okay. You said you like children the most. So I will buy you all the children's things. Let's forget about the past and start over. Okay. My dad saw me freeze and patted me on the shoulder. Dad respects your idea. I put away the paper and tore it up. Dad, you know I'm a person who has been stubborn since I was a kid. And when I decide on one thing, I won't change it. So, since we broke up, we won't make the same mistake again. Sometimes friends occasionally chat with me about their dynamics. Sophia went after CJ Ching every day and was fired from her company for poor performance. CJ is working in his own company anyway, so it doesn't really affect him. He's just not as energetic as he used to be. They're not together. When my friend found out about all this, she asked me, "Will you forgive?" I shook my head. My heart wasn't strong enough to forgive them for what they did to me. Before, I was selfish and brainwashed to think that because my dad abandoned me and shared his life with someone else, I wasn't his first. But when I thought about it, I had the love of my life and my best friend. And at the time, I thought that was enough for life. But 6 months went by and I loved bickering with my dad and grocery shopping and cooking with my Auntie Lee. Plain and true. Once I loved CJ Chung miserably. Once my dictionary number 1 was sisters. And now, without thinking about them, it just feels like a lifetime ago. Sometimes I wonder if I hadn't confessed to CJ Ching in the first place. Or I didn't say yes to CJ Ching's confession. Would we be different now? But there is no if. Maybe this is life. Before New Year's Eve, Sophia came to see me. I didn't see her, but she didn't give up and asked many friends to persuade her. I finally met her. It was at our old favorite cafe. It's been a long time since I've seen her, so I was a bit embarrassed. When she saw me coming, she nervously spoke. Emily, I'm sorry. I didn't say anything and just looked at her coldly. What's the use of saying sorry now? I would never smile like before and tell her it's okay. I'm sorry. It was stupid of me to move on to someone I shouldn't have. I still didn't reply anything. If she thought of me as a friend, she should have squashed the fact that she was also attracted to CJ Chung in the first place. Never let me know. But in a choice of two, she abandoned me and chose CJ Chung. It never occurred to her that if I gave way, I was the one in the unattainable position. I'm the one who will be that white moonlight. And could they really feel comfortable hurting me while doing the meticulous thing? She hadn't thought about anything. She reddened as she said, "In the sinner. Aren't I? Right now. You're the most dashing one. It's only me and CJ Chung. Living in betrayal forever." I still couldn't help it and frowned. Weren't you so confident that he would be with you as long as you wanted him to be? And now you're getting what you want? She lowered her head and sobbed. It's my ghost. It's all my fault. Are you never going to forgive me? Yes, during this time. I occasionally thought of those happy times we had together. I said, "You must be my maid of honor from now on." She said yes. Sometimes I really don't understand why she fell in love with CJ Ching again when she obviously had so many boyfriends. Is it that what you can't get will always flirt with you? Maybe it's because I'm too slow. I thought that having a girlfriend and boyfriend together is the happiest thing. But being rejected and being secretly in love, two people whose feelings are not pure can't do anything to be friends. She ruined my proposal. Oh no! A slap in the face. It was the two of them that ruined my happiness. But if there's no conflict between unforgiveness and gratitude, I remain grateful to them for making me wake up in time to see the road ahead. When she was leaving, she called out to me. My family has introduced me to a suitable person. I'm getting married soon. Can you go and see Ching CJ? He has not had a good 6 months. I picked up my bag and refused. No, I'm not pulling any punches with my ex. Sophia apologized again with tears in her eyes. Even though you don't believe me. Emily, I want you to be happy. No need. I just hope I never see you guys again in this life. CJ Chung was at it again. He was waiting downstairs in the neighborhood early in the morning on New Year's Eve. I used to bring him home every year at this time to have dinner and drinks with my dad. Maybe he was too conspicuous. Or maybe he didn't want to be unlucky on New Year's Eve. So my dad left him for dinner. He stood in the doorway. Careful and surprised look cannot be hidden. After 3 rounds of wine, my father looked at him. Ching CJ. Are you still often go to my daughter? Chung CJ froze, put down his chopsticks, and sat upright. Not often, Uncle. It's just that I often send something to brush up my presence. My dad put down his glass and said righteously, "You've already broken up. It's not appropriate. Don't give our Emily a bad influence. She'll have to get married in the future." The speaker has no intention, but the listener has the intention. Chung CJ's eyes reddened and his voice trembled. "Uncle, I really miss her too much sometimes." My father instantly became angry, slapped the table and yelled, "If you miss her, you go to her? What did you promise when you first came to our house? You said you would be good to her for the rest of your life. You said you wouldn't do anything wrong to her. And then what? You got involved with her best friend." CJ Chung explained with difficulty. "Not together." My dad ignored his explanation and stood up. "Then why did you hurt her? Why did you do this to her?" I brought up Emily. I can't even say a word about her. What about you? You did something so excessive. Why should she forgive you? You tell me, he said and slammed his wine glass. The glass instantly shattered all over the place. After today, don't come here. Don't come and add to my problems. Add to my daughter's problems. CJ Chung stood up as well, choking back sobs as he tried to explain something. My dad waved his hand. Go away. This is the last time I see you. CJ Chung looked at me. I kept my head down and didn't say anything. Auntie Lee went to open the door. A gesture of sweeping people out. CJ finally wiped his eyes and looked at us. Uncle, don't be angry. I'm leaving now. Happy New Year. After he left, my dad hugged me. Baby girl, it's a new year. We're going to say goodbye to the past for good. My eyes were sore and I nodded. After the new year, I learned to drive again. In my spare time, I drove my dad and Auntie Lee on trips around the neighborhood. My dad also inherited the extravagant hobbies of the elderly and bought long-barreled photography equipment. Every day, he studied and pondered. I thought he wanted to take pictures of flowers and plants. But I didn't realize that every time he came home from a trip, he would post pictures of me in his circle of friends. I've got a little girl at home. She's standing up. Oh, that's so sweet. Today my daughter asked me to go running to lose weight. Let's see if I'm fat. You're not fat. I'm the one who wants you to stay with me. Right? Family picnic. My daughter's getting good at cooking. Oh, I did the fruit plate. My daughter says I'm not good at taking pictures, but I think I'm pretty good at taking pictures of her. It would have been even better if I hadn't been lined up as a 1-meter too. Auntie Lee occasionally told me that my dad was getting happier every day since I came home to live with him. One day, I accidentally asked him why he agreed to let me live with CJ Chung in the first place. My dad just shook my hand. Compared to companionship, Dad prefers you to be happy. I hugged him and reddened my eyes. I'm happy to have you. Home will always be a warm harbor for me. A year later, I heard from a friend that Sophia had gotten married and divorced. Sophia asked her friend to tell me that she was sorry. I didn't respond. CJ Chung also asked his friend to tell me that he would wait for me forever. I still didn't respond. My friend sent me his social media account and left. The child died and came to the milk. And the person knows that he regrets it. The cheap Lou. I clicked in and looked. On the day of the proposal, he sent a photo at 3:00 a.m. The biggest wish of my life is to go on with you. The day I didn't see him, he was confessing. In the dumbest person in the world. When I sent my friend circle, he took a picture. I will wait for your forgiveness for the rest of my life. The day he blocked me. I'm trash. I don't deserve it. The day I called the police. If I can forget by getting drunk, I'd rather be sober forever. The way there is Lego built. You always used to say, this is too decompressed. But why do I miss you more and more after putting it together for so long? I'll admit I do want to cry a little. Not for him, but for the years I gave my all. I admit that during those 5 years, CJ Chung really loved me. But I also admit that his heart was more than just me. But as time went by, I became the most important one. And what about after that? Even if there is no Sophia, there will probably be Sof Wang and Sof Lee. Once trust collapses, it's all over. Even after 1,000 sales, there's no turning back. In this relationship, even though I have cried on my pillow after midnight, I still proudly maintain a high profile. Because I am still young. Because I came to my senses in time. I will meet other people. I'll move on. Only, on that road, There will be no more CJ Chung and Sophia. End of full article.